Hi, Jules here, and welcome back to JulesFM. Thank you so much for joining me. Today I wanted to talk about something that I think almost all of us feel at some point, and something I personally have wrestled with often, especially recently after leaving full-time teaching and starting to pursue my creative passion again. And that is the idea that we are all behind, or that we're behind in life. That we've started too late, and that everyone else has somehow figured it out earlier, they've figured out faster, better, and that we're the ones catching up. This was a massive fear for me that kept surfacing last year when I decided finally to take the leap, so to speak. And it didn't help when I was hearing my peers talking about how now they're starting to consolidate their earnings since having their kids finish school, or being more comfortable in their roles now after having been there for years. So less cognitive load, therefore less stress. Them being content in not having to make too many decisions or learn new things. And this was the complete opposite of everything I chose just 1 year ago. I left my full-time position of teaching, dropping down to just 2 days a week and stepping into this brand new world. It was a huge learning curve every day, and still is ongoing. And I had to face my fears and find new courage in so many things I did, and trusting, a lot of trust that this is where I was meant to be and this is what I'm meant to be doing. It's what feels right and what gives me a sense of purpose. And that's what I was clinging to, because I had those niggly thoughts pop up all the time. Because here's the truth that I really want to share with you today. Being behind, what I've come to realize, it's just an illusion. It doesn't exist. It's something we've been taught to believe, but it's not grounded in anything real. What I've come to understand is that the only reason we feel behind is because we are comparing our path to someone else's. Someone who is not us. Someone who's lived a completely different life with completely different circumstances, with different opportunities, challenges, privileges, traumas, timing, luck, or even just the lessons they've learnt. And yet somehow we take all of their variables, stack them up against our own, and then we declare ourselves behind. Or we don't consider any of their variables or any of those things, and we look at where they are now and compare that to where we are or where we think we should be. When you actually say it out loud, it does feel a bit ridiculous. Because how could we possibly be behind on a path that only you are walking? No one else is going to the exact same destination as you. No one else has lived your life, learned your lessons, or has your purpose, your calling in life. So how could you ever be behind on your own timeline? Comparison convinces us that life is a race. Or maybe like me, some of you were taught at a very young age that it's a dog-eat-dog world and you have to be better than everyone else to win. But a race implies one track, one finish line, and only one winner. And life is not that. Life is a collection of paths, intertwined, overlapping, crossing, but never ever are they identical. What we're really comparing is our inner world to someone else's outer highlight reel, and our becoming to someone else's become, or our chapter 3 to, say, someone else's chapter 20. No wonder it feels like we're losing. I want you to think about this. Every meaningful thing in your life happened at the exact moment you were ready for it. Not earlier, not later, but exactly when you needed it to maybe learn a lesson you needed to help you move further forward, or to progress, or to grow in some way. You weren't late. You were becoming. And you are still becoming. And I am still becoming. You were gathering the perspective, resilience, depth, and self-awareness that would shape the version of you who could actually handle what you were stepping into. And sometimes it takes time to grow the kind of roots that you can build a meaningful life on. And roots grow underground. You can't see them, but they're still growing in the dark, invisibly. But just because no one saw it, it doesn't mean nothing was happening. What I'm coming to understand is that the more you embrace your journey is unique and that it is beautifully yours, then the easier it becomes to release this pressure to keep up. You can't be behind when you're the one setting the pace, and you can't be late when you're the one defining the timeline. You're not supposed to look like anyone else. Your milestones aren't meant to match someone else's, and your calling won't unfold the way theirs did. And thank goodness, because imagine how boring life would be if we all had the same story. And this is so true of every single person I've spoken to on JulesFM. There are no two journeys the same. Some of them started late, some of them started early, some of them knew what their calling was, others discovered it. And that is the brilliance and the beauty of this life. So here's your reminder for today, and what I keep telling myself every time that little fear creeps in or that self-doubt. You are not behind. You are not late. You are right on time for your life. The only timeline that matters is the one that feels aligned, meaningful, and ultimately true for you. And the moment you stop comparing, that's the moment you realize that you were never behind at all. Thank you for being here with me today. If you know someone else who might like to hear this or could use a little reminder, please share it with them, because it's not a competition, and the more we help others succeed, the more we all succeed. Don't forget to hit follow on your favorite podcast platform, and thank you so much for your support and being here with me today. Until next time.